Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the August 12th edition of the Dawn Patrol. With me this morning is Francisco Maldonado, candidate for, and I'm going to always mess the district up. It's District 8?
District 8, Upper Highlands.
Council, Upper Highlands. And before we start, I just want to say, you might have seen it on Facebook already, we took a little venture down to Spalding Rehab in Cambridge or Charlestown, wherever it is, and visited Bob Hoey yesterday. It's amazing how well he's doing. We got to keep the prayers going because I think he's on the right path. And there's our picture. Yeah, and he's doing well. He said he's a little uncomfortable with the bed. He kept saying, but look at him. He looks great. So, and also I haven't talked to him, but I think Ned's still in rehab. Is he still in a rehabilitation? Do you know, John?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So.
Talked a couple of times on the phone this week.
Yeah. Just got to keep the prayers going for those two guys. And I believe at 7 o'clock we have council candidate downtown district Sean Mcdonough coming in to discuss. So,
Well, he might come earlier.
yeah.
I hope he shows up. I really like Sean Mcdonough. He's
Yeah.
new, and the kid is very bright. And
He's on fire, I think.
I like the
Yeah.
kid a lot. I like the idea this year we have a lot. I mean, young candidates, which is it's needed. I mean, we really need to change things up, and it's not us. It's let's bring on the new generation,
Well,
the new kids.
I'm thinking you have
Kids, I mean,
Yeah, Sean's probably in his 30s. Erin Gender's in her 30s, probably. You get some new young blood in
No,
there.
I think Sean turns 30 this year.
That's right. He told
we'll
me.
have to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah.
We'll have a show just 30th.
So yeah. So how's your campaign going?
Good.
I know you had busy.
Excellent.
You kind of took a little break this week, and you were kind of stressed out, or not stressed out, but tired, and
I needed a break.
You had a successful festival. I saw that.
The Puerto Rican festival was excellent. We really brought it up to a different notch, and I hope we can continue doing that. We have new leadership on the board there, and Elizabeth Gonzalez is doing a good job. She's a good leader for that unit.
Sure.
And it was a lot of fun. They brought some really talented people, and the people seem to really appreciate that.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys do look good in that photo. A lot better than me. I thought that was a great photo. You know, take some credit, John and Tom.
Thank you.
You guys are
We had a
photogenic.
great time. Bobby's bragging about is how tasty the food is.
Yeah, that was great.
Then his lunch comes and he says, "But not today."
Yeah.
But so afterwards, we agree, well, we'll get downstairs, we'll have something to eat in the cafeteria. Scrumptious.
Great cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I'm a cheeseburger freak.
Oh, that's
was a good guy.
that's
That's
great.
good.
Well,
I
all
think
I remember
cheeseburgers
was
are breakfast.
Spalding Rehab
Yeah.
in Boston.
no Jello. That's all I got when I was at the hospital. Jello. Who wants to go to the hospital?
We had a very
Jell-O.
gracious show for drivers down, Mr. McDonough, and I appreciate that, Sean, taking us down.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Everyone didn't care
Did you
for
go in the limo?
Everyone didn't care for the ride, but that's just too bad.
No limo? Oh,
no.
jeez.
Well, it's like a limo. This vehicle's like a limo.
I love it.
So somebody maxed the tires out, so it was a little bit of a rough ride.
I want to go down next time. That way you can say, "Oh, the Puerto Ricans came to visit me." I said a message from the Lunas.
That place was a first class place. The doctor was first class. You could just tell, and he's headed in the right direction.
The doctor came in and said, you know, I should ask these folks to leave, and Bobby said, no, they can stay.
Yeah.
And then the doctor said, people in your condition, we usually send home. So that was great news.
Yeah.
Coming out of
That's
People in
awesome.
your condition, we usually send home.
Oh, you know something? I really believe in a higher power. You know something. People,
the prayers really help.
people that pray and people who do good things in the community always seem to, get lucky. Let's say that much. You know what I mean? No,
You're
Bobby.
not going to keep Bob down.
No, I can't
really
wait
was
till he
afraid-
comes
I was
back.
afraid that with what happened, he might not run if it was say if he wasn't getting healthier. But I think he'll be full speed ahead once he's up and back and well together. And
Well, he's a big part of the community, and we like him, and we actually love the guy. He's just so interesting. He'll say stuff you're like, oh my God, but his heart's there. That's all I care about, and I really and feel that way about on Bobby, and we want him back here soon. Next Tuesday, maybe.
What
Not too
impressed me
early?
about the guy, and he talks about he talks about it all the time about his education.
Yeah.
And for a guy with a GED, he's a brilliant guy. I mean, I can't talk figures. I'm not a math person. He can talk budgets. He can talk, and that's what amazes me about the guy. For a guy that, like I said, he always talks about his education, and he always talks about he lived in 18 different places. I don't know, went to 10 different schools, and
Yeah, Shaughnessy. He talked about Shaughnessy. Like we got that in common. I mean, it's funny because I could see
He's a product of a
Shaughnessy
single
in him.
mom, a single grandmother.
yeah. I wonder if he's up in the morning watching us on his phone.
Likely he is. Likely he is.
Well, if you are, Bobby, hello, buddy.
Yeah.
And
Get back here next
Ned
Tuesday.
threatened to call in today. We'll see if he's going to call in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So
Is
what
he on
else
it?
is
Just
going
one
on?
more question, John. Is Ned on the right path too? Is he getting there? Or do you
The
know?
toughest thing I have with Ned is to get him on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone up, he's in Manchester, gone up
Yeah.
there twice. Both times he's out in Kalupin in the joint. I couldn't find him.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
go into his room and he's off doing something. So he's busy up there. And I talked to his nephew, Jeff. Very dedicated. He's lucky. What a good guy that Jeff
yeah,
Tarmey is.
yeah.
So Jeff, oh yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. And so Jeff goes to see him every day. He says, Ned, you got to call Mcdonough. So Ned called me a couple of times. So he's doing good.
Yeah. Great.
Sounds great.
Great. So, Francisco, you, like I say, you have a primary race coming up on September 9th. Is that correct?
That's
date?
correct.
So
I'm
less than a month away.
Yeah, I'm hoping
3 weeks away.
people go out and vote. It's unusual for September
Yeah.
for voting. So
Yeah.
and then it's an off year. We don't have a president. We're
No.
trying to elect, right? So we're getting the message out. We got some new on signage coming up in, so hopefully that comes in the next couple of days. We'll get that out there. We got an event. We're scheduling a pig roast at my house for some of the not candidates, some of the constituents in the neighborhood. So
That's a good idea.
yeah, I mean we thought of
Are you
going
doing
out.
that after the primary or before?
No,
the
we're
primary?
doing it on the 23rd. We're going out to the Waterfest, and we're going to try to connect with the Asian community up in Upper Highlands and invite everyone. But
Sure.
we like to get to know them and get to know more of their concerns in the city and stuff like that.
Right,
They're a big part of the Upper Highlands. Then the other thing, we're going to try to have another event up on Drum Hill. There's an Indian restaurant out there, so we're going to try to get an event up
Priya,
there.
right? Is that what it's called?
I don't.
Drum. I think it's Priya. I forget.
Yeah, that sounds
something
right.
like
Yeah.
that.
The few people that have gone out there to eat said it's excellent. I still haven't met the owner. He called me the other day. I stopped in. He was away. So I'm going to meet him and try to schedule that and definitely sample some of the food.
Now
he
you
has.
have been knocking on some doors. You said.
Oh yeah, no.
Now what's the response? Are you
The
getting
response is
time for a
the
change, or-
response is good. People are asking for change. They're really simply people are tight. I mean, taxes are really the number one issue out there. The cost of everything. I'll tell you how you know people are having a hard time financially, and this is something people don't talk about because you could see it. So I've been walking around and I've been noticing crabgrass growing like wild. And the first thing people don't pay for is lawn service when money gets tight.
Yeah.
And you go, and I ask people to go and look at that. And, no one wants to say they're cutting back or hurting financially.
Right.
But you can see the signs. Every day I go up some of these houses that I've seen manicured, their condition of their lawns, a tell sign of what they are financially doing, unless we just don't have landscapers. But I know my landscapers are like live in big homes. They're not shy.
Well, but they'll also tell you how tough it is to get help.
Yes, that's true.
And it's easier for the boss to make all the dough. But getting people to ride around on those machines is not easy.
No, I mean,
I have a guy that comes every 2 weeks to my house to cut my lawn, And he's basically, he has another guy, but he's like this past couple of times he's by himself, and he's there. He's meticulous. He got there on Sunday at 12:30. He's there a good hour and a half because he really trims everything and he cuts the shrubs off and perfect.
Yeah, so, I mean,
Manny Rivera, if anybody needs salon work.
Manny Rivera. I like that. Manny Rivera. That sounds good. I mean, I do enjoy cutting the grass, but it's as you get older, you kind of start like, all right, maybe I should get someone else.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You know?
Well, we had to because we got a letter from the state saying everybody's going to be trained to handle gasoline. So I said, look, we got enough training we have to go to just to keep the funeral licenses going. Never mind OSHA training to handle gasoline.
Because you're a funeral home, you mean? Is that why?
Because we're a company.
Yeah, business.
So if they're handling gasoline, they have to have training, OSHA training of gasoline and operating machinery that can cut your leg off.
Wow.
So I said, the heck with that.
And there's a fee to that, right? I take it you have to pay to go send someone off to get certified?
Yeah, and then it's just it was another. I just decided not to do it. The heck with it.
No, I agree. Sometimes it's just easier to subcontract stuff. Unless you got a big city to run. That's
Well, the city
you don't want to
out the city,
subcontract the work.
and the
that,
ingeniousness, the city's outsourcing the cemetery. I think that's a mistake.
I agree.
A couple of years back, the city bought one of those big sewer sucker trucks, and they're outsourcing sewer sucking. Why? I just don't understand what the city's all chiefs, no Indians. And I don't mean that in a bad way to people who are Indians. The city just has, it's all administration, and there's really no online staff.
I've said top heavy. I can see it in the budget, and that's one of the issues I've been running on is like, let's look at our budget. Like, I know people right now are at their limit with taxing. So before, you ask for more money, you have to trim, just like everyone else is doing. People are trimming back on their lawn. Guess what? Government needs to trim back on some of the upper management. Things were good. You got to hire some top-notch people to make your job easier. Sometimes you got to cut back.
Francisco, all they're doing is screwing the little guy out of a pension.
I agree. I mean, you look at some of the salaries. I mean, look at the 3 deputies in the police department. They're making over $200,000. You know what I mean? That's
over 200.
Over 200. Yeah.
What's the chief get? Like
The
300?
chief? He's making like $275. But you get $100,000 an increment from the time he got hired. That's a nice amount. And how long has he been chief? I mean,
2 years, 3 years.
So it is what it is. I mean, overall, we had COVID affect some of the pay, the inflation, but I think we're maxed out. This city is maxed out.
It's a funny story. I was driving home from after John going to visit Bobby yesterday. I'm driving down Mammoth Road. And I'm going by the Drake School Department, and I see them paving the property. I sure as shooting, I said to myself, watch this, this is going to hit the fan. And as soon as I got home, Facebook, somebody was saying, how can they afford to do this? The school department's in dire straits. And it's true, they're paving a parking lot that wasn't in bad shape. I've been in the parking lot, but they're going to take heat for it. It's just, I don't know what it costs, but that's a pretty big parking lot. I don't know what the cost of...
Well, you know what the C is for in Drake?
Cheap.
Cheap.
You said that yesterday.
I like, but their taxes are cheaper than Lowell now. So
Yes, they are.
So I mean, and you hear that a lot of upper management positions, residents that live in Drake. So.
Well, we're doing a lot of.
We're doing a lot for the surrounding towns.
Drake is. What's the word? They're at least taking some steps. For example, I'm meaning like there's a few positions that are going to be people are retiring, and they're not just going to fill them. They're going to be merging departments. They've already started that process.
No, and I think that's something we have to do in the city. I think honestly, it's coming. It's going to be. You don't want to. I'm not a proponent of firing people or laying off people, but I do think you have to look at your budget. You have to look at how things have changed over time. Honestly, we are one of the safest cities in Massachusetts for a city, and we have a police department that could probably be downsized. We had 30 positions that were vacant in the budget that should have probably some of that money should have gone back to the city for other stuff.
Yeah.
For some of the, think of it, $100,000 is being budgeted for a vacant position. That's $35,000 jobs, right? That's not a bad salary for some of those low paying jobs. You know what I mean? We're talking about landscaping on cemeteries or even just the parks and stuff like that. Wasn't recently someone talking about needles not being picked up and stuff.
Yep.
That could be a $35,000 job and necessary. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Did they have somebody before that was going around and picking up needles? Didn't they have a position in the
Probably was a federal grant, and the federal grant
Yeah.
burnt out. Something else to blame Trump on.
Have you seen a lot of kids working? I mean, I grew up in this system. People know I've lived here my whole life. So I grew up working all the programs that the city has offered, and they helped me to get where I'm at. And I remember seeing kids in vans everywhere and cutting grass, and I don't see that anymore. There was, I was a leader. I actually was one of the kids that cut the grass, and then I decided, I want that guy's job. So the following year, I found out what you needed to qualify, and I qualified, and I got hired. I remember Rourke giving me the job, and he seemed like a real nice guy. And we got training, short training, but we took a van and we had like 15 kids and we were in charge, and we were like just freshmen in college, 18, 19 years old, and we had that much responsibility. Think of that for a young person, start early. Are we still doing that? I mean, I think if you want strong leaders, you got to start them young. Even that, learning to get a check or having to get up and go to work is something you have to instill early. You just can't wait till they're, 25 now? You can stay at home with your parents' insurance and live in the basement?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, you're the generation, same as me, that 18, you had to go out and get a job because that was the only way you get health insurance.
Yep.
And now we got kids, someone that's 26, right? What's the max now? You guys, it's like 26 years old, and you can still be on your parents'
I don't know.
health insurance.
Really?
All my kids are older than that.
Wow.
They're out of the house, so.
Yeah, you're old. Older than me.
Your day's coming.
I'm the baby here.
You'll be here.
56 years old.
I just turned 70, and before you know it, you're going to be 70. I remember when I was 56.
I'm hoping to live as long as you guys and look as good as you guys.
Gee.
Photogenic. That's something. What I did for last week is work on my smile. It's funny how you start becoming a critique. I'm like, oh boy, gotta work on that. I good.
Now, Francisco, this city paid for a trip for many of the city's elected officials and many of the administration. What are they going to find in Switzerland? What are they looking for over there? Looking for a new watcher? Do you have any idea why they're going over there?
Well, I'm against travel when things are
I'm just
expensive.
asking, what are they going? We're paying for it. What are they?
We
We went to Canada last year.
Okay.
And we didn't pay for that. The government of Canada paid for that. I don't know what they come back with. Come back with a lot of verbiage, volumes and volumes of text. But I don't know what we get out of it. And if you don't know what we hope to get out of Switzerland, I respect it. You can't know everything. Tommy, you know anything? What are we getting out of Switzerland?
I have no clue. I just know I just read about it the last couple of weeks. Does this have something to do with that thing when they went to Canada and
I think it's a different thing, but Santa Claus and all the reindeer are going.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know.
Is the mayor on tomorrow? He usually comes on Wednesday. Maybe
I don't know.
He could tell you better.
How many? I don't know the names of the reindeer, but I know that Santa and the reindeer.
Well, I know one of the reindeer isn't going. That's Fesnanoon. I read that the other day because his daughter's going back to college or something. He wants to be around or something. So one of the reindeer aren't going.
Well, speaking of which, didn't they have a trip to Cambodia too? this term?
Oh,
Didn't a group
I don't know.
of city councilors go to Cambodia too?
I don't remember that
This
one.
term?
Yeah. I remember the one with Rita and Rodney, but I don't remember.
And what did they bring back to the table? I don't mind learning stuff.
It's
I
a
mean,
fact-finding mission.
I learned a lot of stuff in my career by traveling around the country. But I just want, what are they bringing back to the table?
If it's just knowledge, something, you can do that on Zoom. Have a big meeting on Zoom. It's less expensive. You still interact facially with someone. It might not be the same as seeing, a town. You're visiting a town and seeing actual buildings or structure that town put together.
If they actually go in there, I mean, you can watch a beautiful YouTube on a cruise, but riding on the boat is a different.
I agree there, but
And the same thing when you visit, okay, when you're lucky enough to have a place in Puerto Rico.
yes.
So I can watch a YouTube and enjoy Puerto Rico, or do I got to go there to enjoy Puerto Rico? Which is better? Going to Puerto Rico.
No, everyone wants to travel. That's just human nature.
So I don't blame them. I just want to know, what are they bringing back to the
And John, what you said you've said this numerous times about how do people know there's an election? Nobody
Eric
reads
Kitchen says 2 reindeers aren't going. So I'm going to guess Eric's not coming.
nobody reads the paper. Nobody knows when the election is. But so I don't think people know. They're not going to know about this trip to Geneva. I mean, you and I read the paper. You read the paper.
I do.
The average. I could ask my kid tomorrow. What do you think of the councilors going to Geneva? He wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. It's just because people don't read the paper.
Isn't Geneva a new kind of beer?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, and I agree with Tom. The fact that there's a lack of advertisement of what's happening at City Hall is an issue. Like, again, that we don't have a printed on. Well, they do print the Sun, right? I seen it,
Well, I'm hoping
but not like
You pick up
we
the little
used to
sign.
have it. You used to have it everywhere, so you would pick it up whether you were having
Always.
lunch or
Always.
it was delivered at home. You always had that knowledge.
Francisco is voting for the first election, September 9th. Are they going to have early voting, or is it just drop dead date the 9th?
No, they're doing early voting.
We're going to put out, is the Genius Golden going to put out the electronic signs reminding the community it's time to vote?
I haven't heard that, and we've been pushing that also. It's like, let's get these people involved. Your job is to get everyone in the city involved in the city and make sure and that's a low cost
We already
item.
own the signs.
Yeah, we do own the signs. It's easy, and we have them
We
out for
probably don't
other
know how to
stuff.
program them. Nobody knows how to program them.
You got to be kidding me.
They can't control the lights of the Lord Overpass.
That's a mess. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
just,
a total
oh
mess.
yeah, it'll be smooth as silk.
Oh.
They don't know what silk is.
Oh,
Going through the Lord Overpass you sit there. My kid's got my drone because he went to Nevada 4-wheeler. He likes to go 4-wheeler, so I bought the drone. I got to get it back. But I'm going to take the drone and park it over to the Lord Overpass, and you can see they're sitting there at a red light, and there's no cars. They're just sitting there waiting for the red light smart traffic lights. No, there's no cars. Turn green to where the car is.
Exactly.
And we have smart traffic lights, but nobody knows how to program them. Thank you, City of Lowell.
It's just.
And the city will say, oh, that's the state. Then call the freaking state.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that was another blunder. We get a lot of blunders right in this city.
Yes, we do. I just don't like they're outsourcing the little guy.
No,
The street sweepers, they're outsourcing the street sweepers.
The street
Oh,
sweepers-
really?
Well, I mean, the little
Didn't
guy.
we just
he's-
buy a bunch of street sweeper equipment
Yeah, we buy stuff
recently?
from our friends. We don't have to use it.
Holy mackerel.
Just take a walk up to the DPW. Look at all the nice equipment we have. When was the last time it was used? Broken the first time it was gone out. Undertrained people operating equipment, breaking
So
it
if
the
they're
first day.
outsourcing that, they'll be outsourcing snow plowing pretty soon.
No, we do that now. We have
Well, I know you
contractors
have, but I
do
mean, for
the bigger jobs too.
Yeah.
And that's the reason is to save money on. The problem is, I really think you have to have employees in the city. That's only going to make your city better. because you're more vested in it. Like the more people, and yeah, there's a cost to it. But I mean, you look at the people up in the Upper Highlands, you go talk to them, first thing they say, look at the condition of the road. Everywhere I go, and not even their own road, they're talking about the roads to get to their homes. So there's a pothole, I called 311, I put it in on a month ago, and it's still there. I mean, people that pay taxes want to see what they're paying for.
Yeah.
And guess what? Yeah. When you're paying taxes and you got no employees, you kind of start asking, why are they going to Geneva? Why are we traveling so much when we don't have any employees and we have potholes?
We got to get a new watch.
Well, I think we got to get maybe Eric on someday and tell us what this trip to Geneva is all about. I mean, like I say, I quit.
Yeah, Eric was supposed to come, but he switched out days. I haven't. I've been away from the keyboard during the day, so hopefully I'll be able to. Because John Dakota, he also asked for another day, and.
So let's get Eric on here. We can chat about it. Yeah.
I gotta sit at the keyboard and play with the keyboard.
Yeah.
Someday. Too early in the morning to contact people today.
Sure. So no, and you know, there's going to be 0 to nobody voting on primary day. Nobody goes out.
Yeah,
that's
it's scary. And think of it, 95 in the Upper Highlands, 9,500 registered voters, 9,500. 1,300 voted the last local election. 1,300. 800 won the seat for me.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you're a politician and you want to win and you don't want to have to owe any constituents, people don't vote. I mean, you have to take that time. You really,
exactly.
We're so lucky to be able to vote. There's other countries right now that, don't have that option. And people have died. We fought wars upon wars to have the right to vote. And that's every time I have the opportunity to vote, I vote because I think of that person that died, that's at the cemetery at Arlington. And I just think, you have to make that effort. It's something that we should instill in every kid. I think it starts early. Voting, our nieces and nephews, that's the conversation at the table when we go to these family events. Are you going to vote? You better vote,
I'm 70 years old. I started voting when we was 18, right? It's still 18, right, to vote?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever missed an election. And I've voted in elections where there's unopposed. Somebody's running unopposed. So I never missed a vote.
Oh, for the voters out there, you got to understand you're being rated. All this information is available to the politicians. So guess what? If someday, which you will need, someday, start young, and I'll tell you, someday you're 18 today and you're not thinking, well, when you have kids and someday your kid's bright enough and he has to compete for a position at West Point or one of the other military academies, and you go to ask your congressman to help you out with that kid to get an application, simply an application, that congressman's going to call his staff and say, hey, can you check into so-and-so, John Doe, right? And John Doe, oh yeah, we checked into him. He voted on 5 times in his life and you know what that congressman is going to say to that person? Can you just put him to the side? Because you don't have that rating. Just like your credit card, you're going to end up paying higher interest. You're not going to get the same service that you would be if you establish yourself as a good voter. So I like to, inform people, and especially young people, you got to start voting. You have to set the precedence so that someday if you ever need that politician or you need something from someone that, depends on your vote, you can say, look, I'm on 800, my credit's 800, so give me the best deal that you could give me, you know what I mean?
Sure. So, and they make it easy for you to vote. I mean,
they'll mail it to your house.
Early voting, and are they doing the
early voting for September 9th is on August 30th we're on City Hall, I think is
Mayor's reception room,
I think you just go into the office there, the voting office and
Oh, is that where you go?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
all right.
I thought it was the mayor's reception room.
That's
Oh,
what's
reception room?
last time.
Okay, so, all right,
Yes,
so,
reception
all right,
room.
that's good.
That's my take on it. Last time we
Yeah.
really, because Ellen and I we were going on vacay, and we're going to be around, so we had to early vote. Mm-hmm. And we went upstairs to.
Oh, that'd be a great thing. Early voting, August 30th. I can see it on the signs right now, everywhere in the city, you know? With that Lord
Yeah,
overpass, you know something, with the Lord overpass, you just said, with all the time you spent up there, wouldn't it be great to put a sign up there?
How
A
many of
big
those-
sign.
How many of those
A digital
electronic signs
sign.
do they have, do you know? Because I've
I
seen
don't.
them out, like, for example, I've seen them out, say if there's a Monday holiday, they'll put up the sign saying, there's no delay in trash this week. I've seen that. I've seen other things they'll announce in those signs, but I don't know
You
how
go
many
out
they
to,
have.
you go out to Tewksbury, you go out to Tingsboro,
Go out to Drake it.
there's an electric sign,
It's Drake it
tells
too.
you what's going on in town.
Yeah.
Low, shh, secret stuff.
No, I agree. I mean,
We have a big electric sign in front of the town hall that tells what's going on too.
maybe that's why they're going to Geneva. They're going to find how to put electric
Well, they
signs in
have
the
a
city.
Rolex sign when they
Yeah,
come
Rolex, yes. That would be, if they come back with a sign from Geneva, I'll be happy. How's that? That'll be good money
What are
spent.
they going to get? No, what are they going to get when they're there? What are they coming back with? That's what I'm looking for. To find out.
I think it's a short trip. I think it's like only 4 or 5
Yeah,
days.
it's, I thought I read 4 nights of and
We try to get the
round
sun up
trip.
here. Yeah.
No, it's interesting that we are going everywhere looking for ideas, but yet we're the front runner city. We've attracted everyone. We're the first front runner city in the United States. You know, I'm so
Really?
excited. Yeah, I want to see all the applicants for the front runner city everywhere else.
Huh.
What else? What else is going on?
I'm just trying to get up
Do we
there.
have any activities this? Oh yeah, we have the Asian Waterfest
That's this weekend?
This weekend. They'll probably put signs up for that. You know, up in the Pawtucket Boulevard.
Well,
That's gonna
I
bring
didn't
in a
see
lot
the
of
signs
people.
for Folk Festival, so chances are they sold the signs.
From cheap money, right? Someone got.
They probably don't even know they sold the signs.
Okay, I'm just reading this from the political column Sunday. The planned travel dates is August 23rd through August 27th. The city will cover round-trip airfare and 4-night stay for participating counselors. Should you wish to extend your stay, if
So 23rd, they're leaving the 23rd?
right, and come back on the 27th. But if you want to, say, bring your wife, whatever, you have to pay for that if you want to stay longer. And according to this, it says, I believe it says, Vesna Noon isn't running, isn't going, because his daughter's going
yeah.
back to college or something. I don't know if all the other counselors are going, I know Eric was.
And what they say the trip is supposed to do for the city?
Okay, it's very brief. Members of the City Council are invited to attend the official launch of the Lowell Front Runner City Initiative
the
at the United
Front Runner
Nations
City,
European
yeah.
headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna set the precedence for all the other front runner cities in the world, right? This is supposed to be world wide.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, Frascarelli, the news guy at CAP, he told me tonight's meeting is the only meeting until September.
Yeah, they're canceling their meeting, the next one, because they're going to be away.
So Frascarelli, he's going, but he calls me yesterday. We had a nice little chit chat about what's going on with this, how much money. Nobody knows how much they're going to blow doing this, and he's all bent out of shape.
Well,
So-
it's a
so-
matter of just asking them. I mean, I'm sure CAP.
They're not
I never
gonna-
listen to CAP, but does he ever have counselors on? We can ask these.
Yeah, he has
questions?
counsel.
no, he does all the time.
all the time. He has
Gary,
counselors.
yeah.
But they don't know how much it's going to cost to go to the, like how much it's going to cost to finish the high school.
Oh boy. Front
So-
page story
So
today
they can't
about
afford to pay for high school.
front page story about your favorite subject today about air quality in the high school when they go back to school. It's one of your favorite
No
subjects.
fresh air intake.
Yeah, Yep.
None of the windows
Front
open.
page story today.
You know something,
We're building this
the
building.
voters can go vote and can show their support. You can support the trip, or you can say, yeah, that was your last trip. How's that?
So
You know what I
Tommy,
mean?
do you know who's going on this trip?
I think from what it sounds like, all of them except Vesner and Eric.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure the city manager, I'm sure you know. And if you want to bring your wife, you got to pay for her. It's not, she doesn't get the, you got to pay for her
Yeah,
hotel and her airfare.
Well, that's usually how it works. If you go on a business trip, the employer will pay for your training, and some employers will, go. You know, if you want to stay out there, you're already out there. Just we'll
Yeah.
pay for the trip on back, and you can pay to extend your trip with
In
your
fact, Yem said he's staying longer. He
your
wants to
family.
get-
Yeah. I mean, something. If the opportunity came up, everyone would probably do that. There's, think of it. The most expensive part of the trip is the flight out, right? That's a long. How long is it
Well,
to fly to Geneva,
you could really mess the ball up.
Switzerland?
Like, say if Eric wanted to go, he'd pay for his own trip. He'd look like a hero. Pay for his own, out of his own pocket,
Oh yeah. I mean,
but does the article say what they're bringing back to the table?
Nothing. No, nothing. It's just, no. It was in Sunday's paper.
we're the front runner city,
That's all it
John.
says.
All right. So
Front runner with who will?
This is the
who's
first.
chasing us?
yeah.
Did we not pay the bills? That's
Yeah.
why we're running?
We got international
little too tight. A
international
little too tight on
government
the
coming
mic.
here
Little
to
too-
learn about government.
A little too tight on the mic.
It's right here. All that says the first paragraph, members of the city council are invited to attend the official launch of the Lowell Front Runner City Initiative at the United Nations European headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. The planned travel event dates are 23rd through the 24th, and then it just talks about the cities will cover the airfare. If you want to bring a family member, you got to pay for them. The only one I see here is, like I say, it mentions that Vesna Noon's not going, and now we just heard that Eric's not going. So,
Did Melanie write that or somebody else?
No, it
Melanie.
was
Because Melanie's
Melanie.
going on vacation, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melanie.
mean-
Where they find her?
I'm cautiously optimistic on anything that comes right now during an election year. Simply, that's the concern I would have.
Well, we have an overconfident city council that's going on vacay in election season. Less than 3 weeks before election day.
Well, that's because
Overly confident city council, and I'm sorry, I just don't think it's, the timing's
I think the timing's
bad.
wrong. I agree with you. I mean, and the voters should. That's another reason why you should vote. Show that you know what's going on and you're interested and that your voice is important. I mean, you gotta vote. I mean,
on Tuesday, September 9th, people are going to say, well, are they back yet? Are they back yet?
No, John, because they're not going to know they're gone. The average, we were saying, nobody reads the paper.
No.
The only ones that read it are political people like you and I. And
Oh, they'll be.
and
my wife
Cisco.
reads it. My wife reads it.
Francisco.
Your wife probably reads the
Tommy,
paper.
we both know people who go on vacay.
Yeah.
They'll have pictures on Facebook
Yeah.
bragging that they're.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
oh yeah, no, they're gonna come back with so much knowledge. A plethora. Did I say that right?
I mean, I love to travel, but I travel on my own dime. I mean, if I can get the company to pay for if I go to a convention, you see one convention, you see them all.
Yeah, they probably. Yeah, and that's all. All
it's a
it
good
is about
spot-
making money.
Like the younger, yesteryear, whenever the Undertaker's convention was at Disney World, everybody wanted to go. So we had to buck up sides for who was actually going to be able to go and who couldn't go. We couldn't send everybody down for the 3 or 4 days.
Now, do undertakers have to go for like other professionals for like every year
It's all on
training,
Zoom.
updating train? Oh, okay.
It's all electronic.
All right.
And you just go on the thing, you do the test, and you're done, and
Yeah.
turn the page. But to go to convention, I loved going because I'd have like a round table with my friends from all over the country, and we'd learn a lot of good stuff, and would visit each other's funeral homes. It was a lot of fun doing, learning a lot of good stuff.
Be somewhere different every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big one's National Funeral Directors Association. It's just, It's a funeral home owners association. It's not. It's about screw the employees and let's make the
It's a
owners
junket.
rich.
That's all.
It's a typical association. Let's make the owners rich and the heck with the employees. But the conventions, I had a great time at the conventions. Learned a lot of good stuff.
Great.
And I just ask him, what are you going to bring back to the table? Golden man, what are they bringing back to the table?
Like I said, people cutting back on expenses are up there. I think you have to lead by example as a city.
Yeah.
So you're saying if you were a seated councilor, you wouldn't be going?
Not right now. No, I think I would be interested. I think I think there's other ways to do it. You have Zoom, like the Zoom app there doesn't cost much. I agree, John. You have to be there to feel and get a sense for. But you just asked, what are they bringing back? What are we going there to close a deal, shake hands, and sign a contract?
Is Macaroni coming back?
You know,
Is Raytheon coming back?
Never.
What are we getting out of this?
you know.
The big job givers left town. What are we doing to bring back a big job giver? Lowell's biggest employer is the government.
No, I agree. And then the other thing is, if we keep developing any property that we have that we could put a decent business in, you know what I mean, into residential homes that eventually, if people don't have work to pay for all that residential rent that we're asking for, what's going to happen to those buildings?
Well, retail is going right out the window because people shop with a computer.
Yes.
I can get 6-inch long red, white, and blue shoelaces, and if I order them right now, they'll be here for noontime. And how can you beat that?
Yeah.
I can. Yet, if I went over to Target, I couldn't find that product. So it's a very changed world where Amazon is very difficult to compete with.
No, you've been everywhere. Have you been to Switzerland?
Yeah.
Oh,
Geneva's beautiful.
Yeah.
Most people speak English. You have a great time over there.
Probably a better question to ask you. Where haven't you been?
Like Japan, China.
I'll go to Japan with you. Let's go.
If
Let's
I
go to
can't
Japan.
speak the language, I don't want to go.
Because
Yeah, no, I agree with
Because
you.
I've
That's
been to
tough.
Italy with a fake they don't understand English, and enjoyed my time in Italy, but got arrested in Italy, and it's just a thing where I don't like it when I don't speak the language.
Yeah, it's tough. It must be tough.
But
yeah.
now with Google technology coming along where they can speak into the phone and it comes out in English, that's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, these earbuds, you see them talking about that they can listen to somebody speaking Japanese and it comes out English on the earbud. It doesn't work as well as they brag it does.
Okay, I've heard about those things. Yeah.
I would not invest buying that right now. It doesn't work as well as they say.
I was trying to find, there was some type of something on Facebook this morning we got in the Smith Baker Center, and I don't know what the latest is. on that.
Yeah, what is that? I think they're still waiting for a
Smith
response.
Baker Center is dead.
No, I agree. I mean, honestly,
It's the park.
exactly. We're talking about so again. I ran into some of the business owners downtown. Same thing. It's they're all struggling. We had a lot of complaints during the Puerto Rican festival. So I had people calling me and say, "Oh, we got a ticket on Sunday for $30." I thought the meters were free on Sunday.
I thought they were free on Sunday.
Yeah, so they were giving out tickets on Sunday, and then all right, let me go look into it, and maybe it's just poor advertisement, poor information. Maybe that bulletin board, if we ever get it someday, would inform people. Because when I looked at the web page that we have for the city, it says parking on kiosks will be enforced from or be operating from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday. But yet, on Sunday, during the Puerto Rican festival, we had numerous people with tickets that were $30. And they're like, it's going to take a lot for us to come back. And I'm like, oh, just give us another shot. We'll work on this.
I was trying to find that memo
You know,
I saw
so,
on Facebook. this
I
morning.
mean, unfortunately, you gotta pay for it.
8 p.m. so they can pay for Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Switzerland, I like that. A good trip. Hey, a good trip on the way out, maybe. But John, I do like the idea of getting an electronic sign in the city, strategically located, so that we can communicate better with the
Every
the
neighborhood should
people.
have one. Every neighborhood. We have 11 neighborhoods. Every neighborhood should have one.
I agree. That's something that I would love to see happen.
But we wouldn't be able, well, I'm sure Golden will find one of his friends to buy the signs, but then having somebody to program it, ooh, I don't know about that.
We got a lot of young kids that we can give jobs during the summer, and then even, that'd be a position that.
See,
we
my
could
take
hire.
is, now is the best time to complain about the city, because the city councilors, they're afraid they're gonna lose their position. And so that's the only time they go, what do I do to shut this guy up? What can I do to make this guy happy? He's a pain in the neck. I don't like this guy. I don't care you don't like me. Fix the water overpass lights, Mr. Golden. Why am I sitting in a traffic light with 25 cars and nobody's coming up Middlesex Street? I'm trying to go to downtown, we're sitting there. And then who gets the green light? The bus lane that they don't use. Crazy. Welcome to Lowell.
And it's really, the lights are horrible. It's just, and one of the lights is so short. I mean, I've come up Middlesex Street to take a left when my wife was working at the courthouse, and 4 cars might get through before they could take that left, and there's a traffic jam. I mean, it's horrible, horrible.
So one of the things.
Whose bright idea was this?
I
And
would
you
just-
can't blame Golden for this one. Whose bright idea was this to change that Lord overpass? Was it Donahue?
No, it came down to money, all right?
Yeah.
So, like every other department in Massachusetts, they want to trim certain jobs so they can get other jobs, and we happen to just not fight on Massport. I mean, I think if we had counselors that said, no, we know that you're creating a bottleneck here, how can you take the load, do they still call it the load overpass? Because how can you take multiple bridges that gave easy flow and then all of a sudden get rid of all that and have everybody come to a stop and not consider that a
Well, they wanted-
blockage in traffic?
The city leaders wanted to calm the traffic. Administration wanted to calm the traffic. Calming traffic just means slow you down. That's what the city
Maybe we could
administration wanted to do.
Maybe we could put a sign up there. That could be a reason why we did the load overpass. That's coming. A big sign.
It's just, it's just horrible. It's horrible, you know?
And you're like, I hear this all the time. People are avoiding the Lord overpass, and now they're finding other ways to get around the city.
I never come here to the Lord overpass. I cut through Drake and I come down past the
I do
courthouse.
School Street, go down Liberty Street, come up Hale Street.
Exactly, Hale
I
Street.
avoid the Lord overpass when I'm.
I don't. I enjoy going up there. It's entertainment. Some days you'll see some lady pull down her pants and do her thing right there. I mean, it's.
You see,
I've seen some crazy stuff. I mean, literally that, and I'm not lying. I'm just. I had to turn away. I'm like, that just did not happen. and I was at a red light, and unfortunately, like you said, waiting there, I got to see the whole show.
well, tonight, David Prestipino is going to make a presentation at the city council meeting. And he's the guy who walked into the pristine Bishop Markham housing project the other day and showcased all the human excrement all over the stairs in the building, in sinks in the building, and it was a fabulous video.
He was
You were
here
talking
recently, wasn't he not? On your,
You were
was he
both
on
talking-
your show?
Monday.
Yeah.
No, last Friday.
I caught some
Who
of
is he,
that.
John? Who is he?
David Prestipino.
I don't, do I know him? Is he,
He's on Facebook.
but was he, where does he work? What's he,
I'll find his video.
yeah, is it on YouTube, I mean? Can I find that on video?
No,
Yeah.
I think
I
he's,
can't, you guys were talking about it
I'll
yesterday.
find it.
All right, buddy.
Oh, boy, you can't, you can't hear that. That's crazy. No, yeah, but you know something? But our city manager will say density is good. Density is good. Density is good, you know?
Well, it's, put up another building, the hell with the parking. I just want my tax money, that's all.
What tax? When you give them breaks to lure these people in?
Only
Let's
my friends get breaks.
Let's face it. Look, developers, we got one in the White House. They take people for everything they can get, and they treat people like, you know, hey, guess what? I'm going to make as much money as I can, and if that means getting you lured into a situation where you don't know what you're doing and treat you like you're my friend, and all of a sudden, yeah, no problem, I'll take care of it, you can pay me later, and then you turn around and say, buddy, I'm not paying you, and you can't do anything about it because we don't have a contract.
Right,
But
right.
you gave me your word. Oh, no, sorry, my word doesn't mean anything. You know, that's what, you know, real estate people do. It's a really nasty business. Not everyone, obviously, there's some people that are honest and have good integrity, but those guys aren't the rich people. They're,
Hey,
you
Sean,
know,
door should be open.
they're the ones that seem to not make as much money.
And nobody wants change, it seems. I mean, people have a tough time with change. I've seen it in Drake. Now we have a new town manager. Well, she's not new anymore. She's been there since January. And she's trying to do things differently and try to mix things up. And people are peed off at it. You know what I mean? You're never going to win, no matter who you bring in as a manager. When Golden leaves in 4 years, whenever he's leaving, that next manager will have a honeymoon period, and then there'll be... I mean, do you agree?
I agree. I mean, change is difficult, and you have to, but you also got to have confidence and give people an opportunity. You know, I think if you explain the reason and you take the time to get people to listen, and you have a good package of what you want to do, I think you can get people to give you an opportunity.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
Here comes
Oh,
Sean
Sean's
now.
Here's
Okay,
Sean.
great. So you got the primary on September 9th. No, it would be a very low turnout. There's no doubt in my mind.
No, there is. There's three primaries this year.
Help
We
me
have
yourself
one
and
in
then-
District 3,
Six.
District 7, and District 8.
Thanks, Sean.
District 3 is Belvedere.
Yep.
On September 9th, and then we have District 7, which is the Acre, September 9th primary, and then we have the primary in the Upper Highlands, which I'm part of, and we have myself, Francisco Maldonado is a new candidate. We have Marcos Candino is a new candidate, and then we got the incumbent John Dakota, who's going on this trip to Switzerland. You know, that'd be that's how many, maybe
Sean,
a
you
week.
sit. Just
Where-
looking over there.
A week where, yeah, come on, Sean,
turn the
just
mic
sit
on.
down. We need some looks here, buddy. So yeah, September 9th, and this is the year, if you want to see change at City Hall, this is the year. We got some great candidates out there,
And one just walked in.
if you want change and you want people to be involved, you have to be involved. You have to go and vote. You have to show that you care. This year, and I think it's time to hand it over to the next generation. Sean,
Welcome,
Who's-
Sean.
yeah,
Welcome, Sean
Sean.
McDonough, council candidate in the downtown district, which, and I know, District 4?
District 4.
All right, got that one right, so.
His mic's not on.
Oh, there you go, pal. There you go.
Okay, now my mic's on.
So welcome.
Hello, good morning. Thanks for having me in again.
Oh, great, it's great, it's great. You're running quite a campaign out there. I've been singing your praises here. You're really on fire, I think. You're out there campaigning. You're up in this district here. I chatted with you on Facebook a little bit about it and how you're doing a great job. And I think you're getting out there and you're meeting the voters, which is key. You know?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, whatever happens, I have now lost 10 pounds and counting. So I think last time I was on, I was down 5 pounds. Now I'm down 10.
You weren't a heavy guy anyway.
No, it's a lot of walking. It's a lot of walking. It's a lot of walking.
Okay, here is David Prestopino's video without the audio. And because he doesn't stay with the Queen's English.
Is this on Facebook, John, or is it somewhere else?
This is on Facebook if you look around. for
Not
David.
Facebook, I meant YouTube, that's what I meant.
Is this in your district, Sean, on Bishop
Yeah,
Markham?
this is Bishop
You
Markham.
don't even know it's called Bishop Markham on,
They call it something else, some
It's not
kind of
anymore. It
village.
used to be
South Common
Bishop
Village, I
House.
think they
Yes.
called it now.
Yeah.
The pagans who run the housing, they decided to get away from Bishop Markham. They call it the South Common Village.
yeah, when I grew up on, we had family members, aunts, and I think my grandmother lived there for a short time too, and we visited the place, and it was on, back then, it was homey, you know what I mean? That's all I
This
knew.
is- So what Dave is looking at here is the hallway and how it smells so freaking bad. He almost gets sick. And
Oh, I can imagine.
this is just people go in the bathroom in the hallways. And it's not being, they get in the building, people let them in the building. Security's not as tight as it should be. People in the building, according to David, live in fear to even leave their apartment. And there's one part coming up where he'll show you there's a sink, that they go to the bathroom in the sink.
Jesus.
So I don't know what floor they're on, but David's going to be speaking at city council meeting tonight. And maybe they can make notes and they can read them when they're heading to Switzerland.
I mean, maybe we need to enlighten these people and have people visit and do these.
Now, this is where we have the washer and dryer.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Look at the flies in the property there.
I hope the Board of Health's
God bless
involved with
David
this.
Prestipino for showcasing this because
Oh, maybe they could put a big X. Isn't that a big sign on the building?
Well,
You have
no.
to move them into
Well-
some of
Well,
these
I
new.
think
Francisco, I'm told that the Board of Health has nothing to do with it. It's a state building. The
Oh,
state-
that's
the-
not
the-
right.
the
Whoever
Board of
says
Health-
that.
It's the build.
I can
Well,
get,
Tommy,
buildings in the
you're
city
a
of Lowell,
professional
right?
Board of Health person.
yeah, I
Can
could
the
be.
Board of Health go in the state building?
Absolutely. I've been in, we have good housing in Drake, but I've had some minor complaints in the Drake Housing Authority when I was the health director, and I was welcomed with open arms to come in, make the inspections. No, they can't stop them. They
So
can't stop 'em.
nobody ever called the Board of Health.
No.
Well, and I think
So,
this
ahead.
is, sorry, so South Common Village is in district, and then without hearing the audio of that video, but having hung out outside of that building several times now on my way to and from Back Central.
Yep.
And then also talking to people who live in Market Mills, which is on Market Street downtown. Actually, they share a lot with somebody else who we might know.
Sure,
Sure. And listening to the people in Market Mills, they're, without hearing the audio, very similar complaints about the condition of their building and the difficulty of getting attention from the city, from the Board of Health, from any sort of
The
inspectional
Board of
service.
Health, the Board of Health won't inspect it?
The stories that I hear from the people living in voucher housing at Market Mills is bed bugs and mold. You can't get air conditioning unless you have a note from your doctor, and it's a months-long process. It's subsidized senior housing. So they have no central air. You can't get a window air conditioner without a note from your doctor. They have mold. They'll have a refrigerator. One woman, actually 3 women that I've talked to, so it's not just one, have said like they'll have an appliance break, like a refrigerator will break, and it will take a month to get management to commit to when they're going to give you a new one, and then you're still going to wait around to finally have a fridge that works again.
Right.
So
Yeah, the
So,
health department should be
Sure, I'm going to
involved.
hold you there. We're going to go to break. Be back. About 30 seconds.
on.
Good. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the August 12th edition of City Life. Before we get going with our guests, I just want to give we went down as a crew yesterday and visited my co-host Bob Hoey down at the Spalding Rehab Center in Boston. He's doing amazingly well. He's looking good. He's on the right track. Hopefully we get him home soon. And we still need the prayers for him because things can change, as we know, in a heartbeat. But he's doing great. And also, I guess our friend Ned Tarmey is improving where he is up in Manchester in rehab. So, Bob, maybe you're watching this on your camera. So if you are, love your man, and I can't wait to have you back here. So thank you all. And with us this morning is 8th District Council candidate Francisco Maldonado and 4th District candidate, Downtown District, we call it, Sean Mcdonough. Sean, welcome.
Hello.
Francisco, welcome. We had you the first hour. We did a
Yeah,
good lot of
let's
talking.
concentrate on Sean.
Yeah.
Let's
Sean,
ask some real hard questions.
Sean, how was the campaign going? What I see on Facebook, you're like on fire. That's my opinion. You're on fire. You're really doing all the right things. Out there knocking on doors, visiting the people up on Elm Street, where you're in back Central Street, where your candidate, opposing candidate, might not even know where those streets are. But I mean, you're concentrating, so it's going good, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said just before the break, I have literally lost 10 pounds. Walking, pulling a wagon around, talking to people, shaking hands. I'm going anywhere between 2.5 and 3.5 hours a night. I do about 6 hours on Saturday and Sunday. In between parenting a 1-year-old and
Being a good husband.
doing the best I can to pull my weight
He has a
around
good
the house.
wife. He has a good wife.
Well, I'm very lucky that we live in a condo without a yard, because I don't know if I could do all this and still mow a lawn, but I can definitely make sure the trash goes out.
We both have good wives.
No, we can't be here if we didn't have strong spouses. I mean,
Oh God, no.
I love Lori, and thank you again for letting me do this. If you're watching, I bet she is, but she's my number one supporter.
My wife will be watching around 7:15. She gets up, so and I'm truly lucky to have my wife too, as we all are. You know, yeah. And they're lucky to have us, I think, right, guys?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
So,
Sean, what are your constituents saying when you meet them?
So I've now had one of my favorite experiences when you knock on a door, and people told me this was going to happen at the start of the campaign, and I said, yeah, sure, okay, right. Is you knock on a door, and sometimes it's on a voter list, but somebody moved, or they're on the list, and it's a multifamily house, and one person in the house voted, and you knocked on the door that had the guy who previously never voted. Or you're walking, and you go, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to knock on this house right now, or someone's sitting on their porch, and it's the first time that anyone has ever talked to them, and they tell you this is the first. I've lived here for 5 years, I lived here for 10 years. I had one guy tell me he's lived on that street for 15 years. And nobody's ever knocked on his door and taken the time to talk to him and ask for his support in a municipal race, in any race.
right.
And those are really cool, fun conversations.
Yeah.
And
My mother will not. I'll never forget my mother telling this story almost to the day she died. About back in 1969, she was sitting at home, and a city council candidate knocked on her door. Paul Songus. He was running for, and she'll never forget that, how he was very cordial, very nice, took the time to say hello to her, and she never had anybody knock on her door. You know, it seemed back then, that was 69, so yeah. And people remember that. Some people don't like it. I mean, some people, if I particularly don't like it, I mean, if I'm sitting there, but I mean, we don't have it as much in Drake as far as door knocking, but that's great. That's key. If you're getting all this good response from these people, that's great.
So the question I would ask, Sean, are you going to go back to those doors after you get elected? Because you will be elected. Are you going to continue? It is a full-time job, and I know you're a teacher and you have a family. Are you going to be able to handle that?
oh yeah, no, and I think I don't think it has to be. I don't think it has to be a difficult thing. Obviously, you're not campaigning when it's not an election year. So are you going to walk to a street and say, okay, we're going to knock on every single door. It's an off year, and we're going to, make people get up off their couch or leave their dinner table and talk to me. No, I feel like I probably wouldn't last too long if I kept doing that.
Oh.
Can you go to the neighborhood and make sure people know that you're going to be hanging out in a park or at a coffee shop, office hours around the district, not just...
You could have something like a Portuguese American Club or something along that line, or, right?
Yeah, and then you're making sure that you're going to your neighborhood meetings, and I understand that District 4 is difficult, and I know, so Pawtucketville neighborhood, Pawtucketville and Centerville right now have their meetings on the same day, so you can't go to every one of both of those because it's impossible. And welcome to the joys of District 4, where you represent almost every neighborhood. You get a sliver of everyone except the Highlands and Belvedere.
Yeah. You're almost in Drake for crying out loud.
So when I'm door knocking, I loop through Drake because it's shorter to loop through Drake than it is to walk all the way back down the street I came from.
Maybe you could get some money from them because a campaign does cost money, right? How's those donations?
I can't talk about any of that because I am a public employee.
Well, I can talk about it. Look, campaigns cost money. Sean can't talk about it, but I can. If you want to support Sean, which I am, I'm going to write you another check because I can. And I expect other folks in the city to get involved. Democracy isn't cheap, and we need donations, especially when someone's young and is starting a family, and it's expensive, and he's already put a lot of stuff aside to run. So let's support Sean on District 4
downtown.
District 4 downtown.
But yeah, I can't talk about it.
No, that's fine. Let's just move on.
It's not downtown.
It's the sausage district.
I do push back. I do push back on this. I usually push back. I was being nice to Francisco today, but it is not downtown.
I'm sorry.
It is downtown. It is a slice of the acre, but it's really only the part of the acre that UMass Lowell has eaten, digested, and spit back out. It's everything in Pawtucketville that touches Beaverbrook off Sparks, and it's every dead-end street in Centerville along Beaverbrook up to the Dragot line. Sure. So it's a weird district.
You know something? How about we call it? Let's call it the Heart of Lowell. How's that? Yeah. We'll start something different. So Sean McDonough is running for the Heart of Lowell, which is District 4, and he's young. He has some great ideas, very bright. I'm looking forward to seeing him at City Hall, hopefully sooner than later.
So I've asked this question to Francisco when he was first on, when I had him on here about a month or two ago, and I asked it to Sixto DeJesu. Jesus. I want to ask you. So you're elected as city council. Pretend you're elected, you win. So you get sworn in. What's going to be your first conversation with the city manager? And what are you going to discuss with him?
Yeah, so without copping out, there's a cop-out. There's a handful of very immediate quality of life concerns that need to be addressed before any of the fancy, flashy stuff.
Yeah.
And that is, I guess thanks, the incumbent councilor has finally noticed after 4 years that Elm and Chapel need work. We'll see if this motion that has come up tonight, because it's an election year, goes anywhere. You've got a stop sign that's like 8 feet off the ground, so you can't see the stop. So you have an intersection at Elm and Chapel. You have an intersection with like a racing video game Mario Kart level jump in the middle of it. It's a cut-through street where cars are going like 45, 50 miles an hour. You got kids playing on both sides, cars parked on both sides and up on the sidewalk. And then it's a two-way stop. Chapel's supposed to stop. Elm is a straight-through. In the intersection, one of the two stop signs for Chapel is 7.5, 8 feet off the ground. If you're in a car and not a lifted vehicle, you can't see the stop sign.
Right.
So it's so you have an issue like that, and then also you have another one across the river, Sparks and Riverside. I spent this coming in September because we don't have time to file a motion for tonight. We have an intersection where there are residents report what appears to be an accident every other month, if not every month, near misses constantly because you have cars flying out of the university parking lot. You have fast traffic moving on Riverside. You have people trying to use Martin that comes just off. Like it's so. You have Martin and Sparks kind of do a triangle merge. There's no paint, so you sometimes have accidents at that triangle. And then once you get up to Sparks and Riverside, you have cars that have now sat for 35 minutes trying to get out of a university parking lot, who are now anxiously trying to cut into Riverside where cars are speeding because they finally got out of
Doesn't the university
congestion.
have their own police department?
They sure do, but
Where the
they're.
hell are they?
It's a great question. And you also, the university can't do traffic infrastructure. So and this is unheard of.
You're kidding me. Why can't they do traffic?
Well, they could pay us. The way they can do traffic, no. But so what the residents at Sparks and Riverside want, and this is unheard of. So I remember my parents fighting tooth and nail in Methuen over this when somebody wanted to put a traffic light in. The people who live right at this intersection would prefer a traffic light over the current arrangement. That's how bad they feel.
Well, no, the university should have their own cop there, babysitting that intersection.
Exactly.
Like Raytheon hires a cop
Correct.
for certain, the cop's not there all day, the cop is not there for your safety, the cop is there to get everybody out of the parking lot.
Correct.
And why doesn't the university have staff to do that? Why don't they do it?
Well, and I think this is why I say what's one of the first conversations with the city manager is, does that need to be does it need to be a huge project? Does the street need paint? Could we put paint down and talk to the university about getting a cop to sit there?
Sean, God bless you, okay?
Thank you.
Traffic enforcement off the connector
Lacking.
does not happen.
No.
And electronic ticketing is something we have to talk to the Cowardly Lion about it. That'd be Vanna Howard, okay? And we need electronic ticketing in Massachusetts. And they're doing it in Maryland.
That's one of the things I want to see in the neighborhoods. They should, and this becomes easier because it's impartial. So what you do is you put these systems up. They work on the plate. Well, I think one of the things I would love to see is change the way citations are connected to insurance. I think if you made them like a ticket, like a monetary ticket that you pay, but it doesn't affect your rating unless you get 3 of them. And you can have these installed throughout the neighborhood, and they go off.
Well,
Boom. And I think that would deter the speeding.
I got a kick. I'm bombing down Lawrence Street yesterday, coming home from wherever I was coming home from. And there's a beautiful, probably cost us $1 bazillion. Tommy Golden bought it for one of his friends, and it lights up, tells you how fast you're going. And it blinks if you're doing over 25. And they're like, why doesn't that thing take a picture of my car and send me a ticket? But no. It's a masquerade.
Well, so those things are supposed to, and I'm going to italicize supposed to. They are supposed to, one, slow you down, but whether they do or not, I think some people look at them like a leaderboard. They are also supposed to track that information, and the police department is then supposed to be able to know, we had every driver that went every single driver.
They can report to the commandant.
Right. Well, but then they should then be putting a patrolman there with his radar gun, because if you're saying, okay, 98% of the cars that went by here were going 40 miles an hour in a 25, how many tickets are we writing next week?
And meanwhile, the kids go like, let's see if it'll say 100.
Right, and they're on an ATV. That's doing a wheelie.
The kids know it's a toy.
That's...
It's an electronic toy. Golden and his friends are buying to fool the public. Oh, look at this. Put a cop there with a freaking gun, and you know what? When they see the cop there and you get a ticket, you don't see them blocking intersections anymore, do you? Because we had a tinge of enforcement. Now they're starting to block intersections.
I was going to say, I think other cities even around us have the intersection. If you're in this box, guess who's getting a ticket off your license plate?
Well, the city needs to get back out there and the city police departments need to get back out there enforcing the intersections. School's going to open in 2 weeks.
Right. Well, and you'll be halfway through one of my favorite experiences in the city of Lowell is I I've had a few people tell me, well, crossing the street in Lowell is a contact sport. You'll get halfway across. You won't be jaywalking. I'm doing the right thing. I'm being a good 21st century person crossing the street, and I didn't cross at a convenient spot. I'm in a crosswalk, and you get halfway through the street, and then an SUV going 35 miles an hour rips across the other half while you're still there like Frogger.
Well,
And nothing ever happened.
let me ask the retired cop.
That is never.
Let me ask the retired cop over here, okay?
Talk to me.
Nobody can tell me what happened. Okay, so I'm in downtown Lowell. I'm at the corner of Market and Gorham, or Central, whatever you
Central.
want to call it.
Central.
So, and I just decide I'm going to cross the street. It's a crosswalk. Does the traffic have to stop for me without me pressing the button? If I have a controlled light there, do I have an obligation, or is it a commandment? I
No,
can't
no.
cross that street until I press that button.
You're obligated to
Obligated
to follow the rules at that intersection. So the pedestrians have to wait for the signal to cross that intersection.
Now, if you run me over, what's going to happen? I just walked in front of your car.
More likely than not, if you got a good reconstructionist, he's going to determine that was unavoidable by the vehicle. And, we've had these incidents where, the fault lies on the pedestrian, and that's the way it should be.
And
the outcome of that investigation
So
should.
then, page 2, so what you're telling me, Frisco, is if there's a light control there, I must press that?
That is
And I must
correct,
wait
yes.
for the traffic control. So right down here at Happy Highland Street in Gorham,
Oh,
where
jeez.
people love to press that thing and they go like, I can go now. And now it turns
They're
right for
violating
everybody,
on
and there's no
statute.
pedestrians around.
They're violating the statute. They should be
But
cited. You can cite them.
the children should be taught. When you do that and you get run over, mommy does not get a big check from the car
Well, so
accident.
my
Mommy's not gonna
bigger-
get a big check because you screwed up.
My bigger issue is, so there are several crosswalks on Merrimack by the high school that aren't signaled. Like it's just a crosswalk.
Yeah.
There's no intersection, and ostensibly the speed limit on Merrimack Street is 25 miles an hour. I don't know if I've ever seen a car drive 25 miles an hour on Merrimack unless it's a parking lot. You start walking, you look both ways. I'm a 30-year-old adult. I know how to cross the street, I promise. You look left, you look right, you look left, you look right, you look left one more time. You go, yeah, there's literally no cars coming. I am safe. You start walking, and then you've got someone takes a right-hand turn off Arcan Drive, and now they're coming down. And as soon as they make their turn, they put the gas pedal all the way to the floor because 25 miles an hour is how fast you take the turn. You want to be going 50 by the time you hit the light. So now they're speeding somewhere between 35, 45 miles an hour.
Sure.
They rip through the crosswalk. You have to look the whole time. The whole time you're crossing, you know, okay, they go, stop. Whoop. And then you keep going. And if you don't do that, you get hit. And you have cops all over the street. You get a car speeding. You get somebody halfway through the crosswalk. This is not I jumped out in front of your car. This is you
Right.
took a turn and said, punch it.
Right.
Someone's going to get killed.
Tommy, take this pushback to Sean.
Respectfully, Mr. Sean McDonough, did you ever think of advocating?
On the mic.
What?
Get on the mic.
Oh. Not on the mic? Okay. Respectfully, Mr. Sean McDonough, did you ever think of advocating to your city council instead of
I love
publicly
this
embarrassing
question.
people, which might be better approach to get things done? I have always found that direct advocacy is always more constructive and a more effective path to take. Thank you, Jeannie Balkus.
Yeah.
Well,
Here, I actually don't know what I've done. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say, other than being out there and talking to people, I don't actually know what I've done that should be embarrassing. I don't know that I've directly really thrown, until, I don't know, 5 minutes ago, when I mentioned that I brought up this intersection at Elman Chapel without directly calling anybody out a month ago.
well, even if you brought it up to your council, would it be taken seriously? Would they take it?
I have messages.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
really?
I was looking.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, because when I was at Elman Chapel, so now thank you for the question. When I was at Elman Chapel, I was shown the messages that people at that intersection have been sending directly, without
Directly to who?
to their city councilor.
And let me ask you, if you're a district counselor, I mean, the districts are manageable. And there's I think 4,500 houses in my district. Don't you drive through the district once in a while? You live in the district, don't you take a ride and see how your community is living, I guess?
Well, I guess I'm curious what I've done. I don't think I've insulted anybody. I personally have not insulted anybody.
Right.
I don't think.
This is Chapel on Elm Street. There's a gigantic dip right here.
Yeah, that's the Mario Kart jump.
Now, the local trick is, no matter which way you're going. See this guy right here?
Is he speeding? Can we give him a ticket?
Well, Francisco, do you know the trick here?
What?
Do you know
He's
the
gonna-
trick to keep a smooth ride here?
No.
Okay,
no.
I'm going to tell you the trick.
Watch the path the vehicle takes.
Holy
Get up
cow.
on the sidewalk.
You're guessing. See, this guy knows what he's doing, this guy doesn't. Here we go.
Yep.
Don't you love this?
Oh,
boy.
boy.
Yeah. Welcome.
So, like, if you're going down Elm Street, as long as you take your wheels over the sewer cover, you'll have a smoother ride. And either whether you're coming from Central or you're coming from Gorham, as long as you put your wheels on this sewer cover, you're going to have a smoother ride. But you'll see how crazy
said no
this
stop?
intersection is.
Yeah.
And kids are going to be on these sidewalks in 2 weeks. And this has been going on for years. Eric Gitchia, God bless him, he looked into this, and the manager, or I don't know who told him, but I trust Eric when he gives me an answer back. The manager's going to get around to fixing this in 2026. And this has been going on for 2 years. And just because the manager doesn't care for me, I'll pay. McDonough's not going to get that fixed. It's never going to get fixed because McDonough complains about
Let me
it.
ask Sean, do you feel that the present council feels comfortable because of the lack of voting and participation from the community that they can just, not really participate in their job as much?
Well, I've been saying this from the day I kicked off my campaign, and I guess if it's embarrassing, I'm sorry that the number is embarrassing. You have it was a 527 votes won the seat in 2021. There were just shy of 1,000 people that voted. In 2023, I understand that numbers across the district fell, but the council seat was won with under 500 votes. It was 460 votes and change. So if you're not building engagement, if you're not using the campaign season to knock on doors and get out the vote and increase your voter turnout, and you have less than 1,000 people voting in your district, why does an at-large councilor care about any issue in your district?
Tonight's city council meeting, the city councilors are going to, David Prestapino, God bless him, he's going to bring his video. I hope he brings a video down there and showcases what's going on at Bishop Markham Village or whatever, the public housing project down here. It's a disgrace what's going on down. And they're going to act surprised. Now, you have a city manager that told his police chief, herd the homeless to the South Common. And now we're surprised. What happened to the South Common? Mr. Manager, you told your police chief, herd all the homeless to the South Common. Where do you expect him to go?
Well, and you also have, you know what, I'm going for it. Happy August, it's an election year. You also have the incoming councilor, who in 2023 told Solidarity Lowell on his questionnaire that he supported the homeless sweeps. Well, the homeless sweeps are what created that mess at South Common. The encampment sweeps, the herding people onto South Common is what created the tent city at South Common. That was a direct result of a year and a half long policy by the city that anytime you had 4 tents together, even if they were 100 yards into the woods somewhere.
Likely you're going to win this election. But beware of this question, because you're going to get asked it a lot. You can bring up something that's factual.
Yeah, I know.
And the first thing the manager is going to ask you is, who told you that?
Yeah.
That's the first thing they ask you. I remember going to Bernie Lynch. I'm walking into City Hall. And I says, Bernie, when are you going to fix the clock on the clock tower? He said, who told you it was broken? I said, I looked up.
So one thing I would like to give, and I don't want to get anything thrown at me here,
No,
but
good.
I think when we talk about responsiveness, to draw a really I think important distinction here. I sent a message to a city councilor, I wonder who, over a year ago and never heard back. I saw Tom Golden, the city manager, getting a coffee at Brewed Awakening before he went on the radio months ago, before I was not running yet. And there was a parking issue in the garage. No one had been able to hear back from two other places that you might look. And so I said, hey, hi Tommy, I'm Sean. I live upstairs. I'm on the HOA. We're just trying to figure out when we're going to get this issue in the garage resolved. 2 hours later, there was an email sent out from the parking department with an answer to that question. We all know why we got that answer. And so the responsiveness on...
Why'd you get that answer?
Because I asked Tom to his face. He pulled out his phone, he made a text.
Yeah.
Are there things that you can disagree with him on? Yeah. Is he fairly responsive when he finds out about certain issues? Clearly not this Elm and Chapel thing. But yes.
Well, Sean,
But if you don't have a city councilor that's going to raise the issue.
I have the luxury of doing business in Tewksbury, and I operate with the town of Tewksbury, which is one of the companies that I'm engaged with. It's amazing. They don't talk about potholes at selectmen's meeting. But Lowell City Council, they talk about potholes.
Right.
The city of Lowell is painting crosswalks after dark. It's August. Where the hell have you been?
Right.
And, oh, well, we're getting ready for school. Excuse me, this is a springtime project.
Right.
So all summer long, the kids have been running the streets and the sidewalks aren't done. Thank you. Nice job, Mr. Manager.
John, I want to go back to Elm and Chapel Street, and you've talked about this issue, I know, for a long time. Right. But I'm saying, there are councils that come on this show, and I'm sure they know you've talked about this issue, but one of the councils is a personal friend of yours, and they can't do anything for you if meaning Golden ignores them if they bring it up to him?
I'm down City Hall. And one of the guy comes out of his office, he says, you better not ever need anything.
Oh,
What
God.
do you mean? Golden's gonna give you nothing. Okay.
So one of his bosses, Rita Mercier goes to him and says,
You better never need nothing from Golden. Okay?
so Rita
He
Mercier,
doesn't put much out, so.
so Rita Mercier, one of his
No,
bosses,
it's not.
no, I'm just saying, Rita Mercier, one of his bosses, doesn't go on him and say, listen, I want this taken care of Mcdonough within a week, and she's going to ignore her?
I have not asked Rita.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Who drives down Elm Street?
if you drive down Elm Street,
There's actually one in
This is-
Merrimack Street the same way.
But it's-
the same thing, a boom.
it's 7:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
By the afternoon, you've got kids running around on the sidewalks. You're going to start having cars parked as people are coming home.
For 3 years, Sean, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have someone get hit by a car. So the fence that you can't see, covered in Sean Mcdonough signs just to the bottom left of the screen, has been hit by a car more than once. It's a matter of time before it's more than somebody's fence that gets hit.
Well, see, Lowell can brag that we're the reason that they invented coffee cup lids. So you can sip your coffee without spilling it on yourself on Elm Street.
But this is one of those things, and there are city councilors who bring up the same issue every meeting, every other meeting, because they know that it's an issue and they know that it matters to their constituency. Eric Gitchier is going to bring up a tree getting cut down in the Highlands every meeting from now until he gets a new office. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He's going to bring up the water department, and he's going to bring up...
I know I'm hogging that time here, but yesteryear, I got on the community teamwork board. And great board. Community teamwork does a lot of great stuff for the city and for the whole community.
Yeah.
So I joined the board, I'm sitting there, first meeting, put my hand up, ignored. Second meeting, put my hand up, ignored. Third meeting, put my hand up. And the chairman of the meeting says, oh, the new guy, he has his hand up. What would you like? I said, I make a motion to fire the executive director. Now, it failed, but the next day, the executive director called me on the phone, and we had a nice conversation. And I had a very effective seating on that committee. Because where the rubber hits the road is, you have to get the attention at a board meeting.
Right.
And city council, it's a city council show. It's a city council show. They have that's the best viewer audience that LTC has, and it's a show. You can tell them they're on camera or they're not on camera. It's very effective communication to the citizen. I think it's a great job.
Well, and this is also why you need a city councilor that. What did that person say? Direct advocacy is the best way to get somewhere? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a city councilor who used that seat and that microphone and that platform to directly advocate the needs of the district to the city and the city manager?
Potholes at a city council meeting. Why do you have to, in order to get...
Well, they're still there.
Fixed. And you know what? I've heard in the little, I used to do cameras in the back room. I gotta shut up because I just hog too much airtime. Cliff tells me I hog too much airtime. I would do the cameras for the city council meeting. And the door was open in the little control room they have there. And you could hear the communication that would happen in the cloakroom, which is just outside the chambers, of city councilors making deals with one another. I'll vote for this if you do this. You owe me. That's a term you hear a lot.
Right.
In Massachusetts politics. You owe me. Excuse me? What do I owe you? You owe me a vote. You owe me, I did this for you. You only did your job.
Right.
I'm done talking, sorry.
You had the incumbent councilor on that he's running against a couple of weeks ago. I watched that show, and you brought up a couple of suggestions what you can do with homeless people, and he blew you off. It's like, why? You know what? He didn't want to listen to you. It seemed.
I want to just to quickly and then
saw that show, but he was
one on the potholes and then on why is city council talking about potholes? Great question, because the problem is still there. We got to fix that problem. I would love to, instead of talking about potholes, and really it's the one at Elm. I loved Kim Scott had a motion a couple weeks ago asking for a report on infrastructure spending and street repair projects across neighborhoods. That's interesting. I liked that motion. I still gotta dig through reading the whole thing, but
right.
The response. I would love instead what I think would be a better use of the city council's time, rather than saying, "Hey guys, remember to do your job." The traffic pattern in Back Central is confusing. It's confusing to people who live in Back Central. You've got half the streets that are cut-throughs are one way, the other half are two ways, they're the same width. Some streets are parking on one side, other streets are parking on both sides, they're the same width. We have streets that if they were in Belvedere, I think Councilor Belanger would have a speed hump every 8 feet. And we've got others that are... You've got cars parked on the sidewalks on both sides of the street because we acknowledge that people need to park their cars, but there is nowhere for them to park their cars. So now you can't walk on the sidewalks. So now you're walking in the street. It's a two-way street. Speed limit's 25. Safely, you can probably go about 10 because it's now basically become an alleyway.
Sure.
And you've got kids trying to learn how to ride a bike and walk to a park. Mm-hmm. That is something the city needs to. The city council needs to be directing the traffic engineer and whoever else to come up with an actual traffic plan for Back Central. It's not enough to just keep throwing people in there and having 7 cars to a house because if you have 7 working adults, that's 7 cars. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a 4-family house and you've got 8 working adults, that's 8 cars.
Mm-hmm. John, you brought up traffic.
Sorry.
Once you're electric, I'm going to get on your case about this intersection. This is Central Street.
Yep.
back Central Street. Up, and here's Elm Street.
Yes.
Here's the big bump that Golden won't fix. Okay,
Yes.
just so you know where we're at, okay?
The golden bump.
So, you come down here, these people who are on Central Street come down to Lowell Connector,
Yeah.
they take a right on Gorham, a left on Back Central, and they race up Back Central. They don't have to stop here. And you see at drive times, just sit there and watch, because there's a nice little bench over here you can sit and
Yeah.
watch, how they just fly through this intersection. They either go down Wamasett or they fly over to Mill Street. And this deserves a stop sign.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
if you
that intersection terrifies me. When I'm out walking, I won't cross the street over there. I have
you
to.
put a stop sign there, these people, now they're stuck. Just one stop sign will make it a lot better. I hope we can make that happen once you take our office. Thanks.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Interesting. Yeah. So there were some other motions you talked about
yeah.
earlier that are going on for tonight. I know you mentioned there was 3 of them, I believe, that,
4 in one meeting.
4.
So, I don't know. This shame works.
You can talk about it.
The one I wanted to talk most about was Elman Chapel. I do think it's interesting that, to John's point, we weren't sidewalk and pothole people, but I've been on sidewalks and potholes for a couple months now, and so now we have, it's actually my language about the accessibility issue on sidewalks when you can't use walkers, wheelchairs, strollers,
Right.
So now we have a motion, which is, happy to see it. Glad I could help bring this attention up here to have a proper department inspect and secure the sidewalk bricks downtown. Phenomenal, good motion. Glad I could help. Proper department update city council on the plan to address the sinkhole. I don't know if I ever made a post about this. I thought I did. I know I talked to several people. There is a second sinkhole. I'll make sure I get a picture up so that we know where it is before that meeting. So there are multiple sinkholes at this intersection. So there's the one kind of in the canal walk, and then I'll get. He got the picture of that one. I'll make sure I put the other picture up so that we know where it is. Elman Chapel we talked about, and then city manager update on the reopening of the Riverwalk extension. Good motion. I did bring that up at a neighborhood meeting, the last downtown neighborhood meeting. I spoke at that meeting and I did ask that question, but that's okay.
Was he there?
Yeah. So I'm glad there's I don't know what's happening in a couple months that has caused a sudden flurry of emotions, but I'm happy to see them.
Sean, so can I ask now, you're a little younger than me, do you think social media has changed the outcome of politics in the city now? Because I've never looked at social media as much as I have now that I'm a candidate, and I've seen topics brought up and more pictures being shown and more on people focusing on the issues in the city, and now they're being more addressed. You think it's good or bad?
So I have an issue. So I think it's good that we increase engagement. Where it can get dicey is like the anonymous posting and the anonymous accounts. So people posting on Facebook, and it's really easy, especially in some of these neighborhood groups. It's really easy to be mean if you don't have a name attached to you.
Right.
And I know. I remember there was a thing in not that I have the Highlands, but I remember it became a whole. Facebook was pushing it for a little while because it was a fun thread. And Eric Gittier had made a post about people are being mean to each other without putting their name on it, and the anonymous posting is no good. And I would agree with that piece. The anonymous posting can be really tough. But I think Facebook and Instagram and kind of social media broadly, which I didn't have before I was running, I'll be honest, but as a campaign tool and as an engagement tool for local politics is really useful. We don't really, no offense to the Lowell Sun, we don't really have a local newspaper anymore.
You got two writers at the Lowell Sun, so there's not even diversity in
Nothing.
in the story. So if you have someone that really doesn't care about a certain subject, it's never going to make the paper.
Well, or even if
they're writing about they had an article in the paper. My wife pointed out to me the other day of something that happened in June. Front page story. Something happened in June.
Well, but some of that isn't even necessarily on. It's really not on the reporters as much as it's on the paper, because if you only have two people writing,
Yeah, good point.
you can't
Yeah,
possibly.
you
And
can't
and
everywhere.
they're doing everything from you know what I would call a real news story to.
Fake news.
A little event. Well, but somebody has to cover all of it. So they're doing all of the work of a local paper. If you want your high school sports story, you get the same person doing your high school sports story that you do doing your crime reporting, that you do having your political reporting, that you do having. It's like you're gonna miss stuff.
And what gets me is that when they're so negative about people. I mean, they got negative on my friend out in Tewksbury, Mark Rapp. He had a problem. He had a problem. He got arrested, but they had a problem with Corey Robinson. They attacks on these people. Their kids and family have to see this.
Correct.
They don't. Someday it's going to backfire on them. Something's going to happen to them. I always say, because what goes around comes around. As my friend Phil Shea always said to me.
Or you get bought by the Herald.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, no. Despite what is occasionally, I think, rumored here, what the chirping becomes for my campaign at least, I'm running on me. I'm running on a work ethic. I'm running on a priority of access to parks and green space. The district that I represent, minus Pawtucketville, nobody has a yard. I don't have a yard. John, you got a great yard. Very, very few people in District 4 have private green space, which makes these pocket parks like where you can watch cars go 45 down Central Street. Is that Father Grillo?
Grillo.
Father Grillo.
Father Grillo, yeah.
Over
That's
near St.
Father Grillo.
Anthony's. Yep.
You can sit there and you can watch the cars, whip through. Very fun. But figuring out a way to use, and Father Grillo might be too small to figure out anything better to do with that, but figuring out how to use these small parks and the small patches of city-owned land that we still have to provide people with access to meaningful outdoor space it's a serious quality of life issue, and it's really not something that should be like poo-pooed as like a the last cry of the gentrifier or something. Everybody needs a yard. Yeah, when I walked through Back Central last week, and it was one of the best days of canvassing that I've had. A group of Brazilian guys, you could smell the charcoal and the grilling. They called me over, shared some food, talked for a while,
And that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about. But you know where they are? They're on a sidewalk, because where else are they going to go?
Yeah.
So they've got the sidewalk, and they're kind of they've got some lawn chairs out. They're kind of in a side street. They're like trying to, because there is nowhere. And one of the things that they brought up in Portuguese, because nobody spoke English, it was fun. It was very fun.
Good for you.
Yes.
They would have loved to walk down the street to a small park and hung out with the grill.
Right.
But there's nowhere to go.
Right.
So,
Right. I saw your party on Facebook, and what impressed me about your party was that, with the exception of candidates, there were no politicians there.
no.
With the exception, I don't know if you were there, and I saw
They're not going to be. I'm running against a machine.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I hope you stay the independent guy like Eric Gitcher is. Like I think this guy's going to be, and that's what it's all about. I think me and Francisco were walking in this one. I was saying, we need some young people, and you're it. You're the deal.
It's time to turn it over to the next generation.
Yeah.
This is their city as much as ours. I'm inspired by Sean and even Marcos, who's running in my district. We definitely need more engagement, and we definitely need to bring in new blood into our cities, downtown,
Political landscape.
City Hall, decision making.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes the city much better.
Yeah, and I think that's how especially in the District 4 race, there's probably a lot of young people in that district. I'm assuming. I'm not assuming, but there probably are. Right?
There are, and
Young voters.
and I'm gonna take this to drive a couple points. There are a lot of young voters There are a lot of young people who need to become young voters. There are a lot of people who have watched their rents go up. Carolyn and I got really lucky and got an undervalued condo with a first-time home buyer program. Otherwise, I think we would have had to move when we had the kid because we can't afford rent in a two-bedroom.
Sure.
But you have people on Jackson Street at 201 Canal. You have people, fairly recent graduates, paying $2,500 rents.
Oh.
Watching that rent go up. We all know what's coming, right? If that lease started in September, here we go. I work with people, paraprofessionals at the high school making $32,000 who every year when the lease is coming up and they want to stay in the city, so you have to wait.
Sure.
You got to wait and you got to see what's the rent going to be. And in addition to the rent going up, you've got a parking in downtown. So this is specific to downtown. You've got parking fees that go up annually. So when we moved here, we were paying $1,600 to rent a one-bedroom. We were paying $65 to park a car. Now, rent in that apartment is over $2,000, and parking is rounded up to $100. It was $92 per month. So round up that. And that parking fee is the same for everyone except a senior citizen. So if you live in Section 8 housing, so if you're one of these people at Market Mills, and you used to be able to hide your car in a national park lot, but then we took that lot away so that we could put Eileen Donahue's big old dirt pile from the Hamilton Canal garage that we pay $4.5 million of debt on every year. We took that lot away to do nothing with. Well, then we gave some of it to Sal Lapoli, and then Sal Lapoli didn't do anything, and we said he makes a good pizza, so we let him get away with it. You are paying in Section 8 housing. I've had more conversations, and I get angrier and angrier every time I have the conversation. They're paying $300, $400 rents. And the city of Lowell says, thank you, that'll be $100. You have a job, you want to go to work? That's $100 for your car.
Wow.
You've got people living in Section 8 housing. They have $400 rents, and the choice they have to park their car is try and hide it somewhere on the street or fork over 25 to 33% of your rent. Oh, and it's going to go up next year.
Wow.
And then you have a city council that talks about it like it's just a little pain point. That's not a little pain point. I can't imagine paying 25% of my rent, my mortgage, on anything.
Yeah.
On anything.
Yeah. Times are tough, and every penny counts. You've got a child you're raising.
The problem really is, Sean, if you don't go out there.
No, if you don't talk to them.
Visit your folks that you're supposed to represent, you don't know the struggle they're having. Look at Bishop Markham. Do you think this stuff has happened overnight?
No.
In a week? This has been going on for the last 2 years. Where has their counselor been that these poor people have been forgotten? I forget. The powerful few in the city have other homes, so they live here a short time and then they go to Seabrook and Hampton and wherever they go.
I want to just drive home that I am going to be 30 at the end of the month. I am a special educator. I teach substantially separate special education. I teach kids with Down syndrome, with intellectual disabilities, with profound autism. I was in the Peace Corps. Not to be like, I'm a really nice guy. I'm a fairly agreeable person, Cisco. Okay, I am. But I'm also empathetic. And spending months now, hours a day, talking to people and hearing about these problems and hearing about attempts that they've made to have these problems addressed, these serious affordability issues, accessibility issues, and have it go nowhere is frustrating. And if the frustration comes through and someone thinks that I'm attacking anyone because I'm frustrated, I'm not attacking anyone. And I work very well with others. I have a pretty good track record at school of bringing parents and the school district together to get services for those kids that are financially that are able to be provided by Lowell Public. I have the backing of the Merrimack Valley Central Labor Union,
That was a big one.
and I have most of the small businesses downtown. I like to think I still have Mr. John Mcdonough, and I also have people like Bob Ferrant. I've got both sides of the city's political aisle. I've got labor and I have small businesses. There's no divisiveness here. It's about work ethic. Like, sorry. And if that offends you, I'm sorry.
No, and it's a matter of now we showing up because it's an election year. You know, and like I said to John when I was...
Like, you drag your mic a little close to you. I don't know why I'm not hearing you that good.
There you go. Okay, now?
Perfect.
John, I said to John last week, he was on, Mr. Janess was on the show a couple weeks ago, and I said, you'll see him again if he wins, which he's probably not, again in 2 years. You don't see him for 2 years. It's like, and like people like Eric Gitchier, Dan Rourke, Rita Mercier, they're on the show constantly. I know you guys will be on the show constantly when you win. But the others, you don't see them for every 2 years, you see them. You know, like Kim Scott, those other ones, they don't come on that often. But, you know, that's just my opinion.
But that's because some of these folks have decided there's not enough participation in voting, that they don't really have to go out there and work to support the voice of the neighborhood, because there's no voice when it comes down to voting. So
Right.
you have to engage. People have to engage. If we're going to change things and change politics in this city, you have to go out and vote.
Well, let me
And
ask
if you
both,
go out and vote,
let me ask
you
both,
can
let me
make
ask
things
both of you
change.
councilors this question, or your council candidates these questions. Francisco, I'll go to you first, and then I'll ask Sean. You're elected. It's now February. How do you want your constituency, the people living in your district, to communicate with Francisco Maldonado? How do you want them to communicate with you?
You know, it's not a big district. I'm going to give my cell phone out. All I ask that you identify yourself in a text for me to call back, and give me some time. It's not a lot of folks. There's not a lot of big issues. I mean, we have a very safe city.
So you're going to give out your cell phone number? Cell phone number?
Yeah.
Call my cell, okay.
They
So
already
Sean-
have my address
Time
and
is short,
cell
so-
phone.
Yeah.
Time is short. So Sean, how do you want your district people to communicate with you?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to talk to me is to stop me on the street. I'm always out. Beyond that, for accessibility purposes, I think that idea about having some sort of office hour is a great one. I think I'm going to be going to neighborhood meetings outside of downtown. Email is out there. I'm super responsive on Facebook Messenger. It goes to my phone. My wife told me I need to make a Google Voice if I'm going to give my phone number out after I win. Eric Gitchier said the same thing, make a public phone number, so that way you can occasionally turn it off. But email, social media, stop me on the street, I go out. I've had people pull over, I'm not in yet, I've had people pull over to talk to me. I will talk to literally anyone, Facebook, email, there'll be another phone number. Yeah,
You're going to get another phone number.
I'm going to get another phone number.
Gotcha.
But Carolyn told me, please stop giving out your personal phone number. And I said, I've already given it to a lot of people. And she said, let's make a new phone number. And I said, okay. I said, okay, I'll do that. It was while I was walking out the door today. She said, please don't give out your phone number again.
You know who knows how to do that? I'll tell you, talk to Foscarelli.
Okay.
The guy at the radio station. He knows how to do all that good stuff. And he gets it done for free.
Well, and I have one that I had used for school. So I had to do two now. So, because I didn't want, I need like a Google Voice number. So I'll put it up on the Facebook once I make it again. I was like, oh yeah, it's fine, who cares? And I was walking out the door and Kellen was like, I swear to God, if you give the TV your phone number again, Sean. And I was like, okay.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
She's probably watching us as we speak, right?
Yeah, but put my phone away.
So Francisco, we got 5 minutes to go. I'll give you a couple of minutes for a closer if you want to talk about your campaign.
The most important thing going on right now is we got a preliminary election on September 9th in the District 8 Upper Highlands. If you're a voter out there and you want change, make sure you go out and vote September 9th, this Tuesday, September 9th. And there's going to be early voting, so you can get the vote in early if you can't make it to the polls on the 9th. That starts August 30th. Or you can request your ballot to be mailed at home, and you can vote that way. Again, September 9th, I'm Francisco Maldonado, running for District 8, Upper Highlands. We have a preliminary September 9th, and it's important that you go and participate.
Great. And Sean, you don't have a primary, so you're going to be concentrating.
We're going
on
in November.
November 4th. Is that?
Yeah, 83 days. 83 days to go.
Yeah.
It is a 500 vote race. If you are listening to this and you live in district or you know anyone who lives in district, your vote will never mean more than it does in the race for, well, District 4 and the Acre have the two lowest voter turnouts in the city. Your vote means the most in a municipal election. Your vote really means a whole lot if you're in District 4 or in that Acre seat, because 5 people is 1% of the vote.
Wow. It's
6 people is 1% of the vote. We'll round up.
Tomorrow's City Life, we're going to have Linda Bounds the host. City Councilor Corey Blange is going to be here.
Ralph Hogan.
Greater Lowell Regional Vocational High School's school committee, Ralph Hogan's going to be here. And by the way, today is Steve Roberts' birthday, Peter Crouch's birthday, and Ben O'Para's birthday.
Happy
So
birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I want to give a shout out to Clem Canola. I don't know if he's watching this morning, but he's one of my good friends out in
He's a
Drake.
good guy.
And he watches, and he always wants me to say hello to him and he always will never forget how you put his daughter's picture up when she got married. Those pictures.
Beautiful day.
Yeah, great guy. Great guy.
Can I take 20 seconds?
Go ahead.
All right. Just in closing, I am Sean Mcdonough. I am a special education teacher at Lowell High School. I care deeply about the needs, wants of everyday working people in this district. I care so much that if I win, I'm saving the city $25,000 because I also like my job at Lowell High School and I'm not leaving. The state says that's fine, I just can't get paid. So the $25,000 stipend stays with the city. I'm running as a volunteer, and I'm running because I care about working people in District 4.
Good job. Good job.
You know, and I'm going to take a couple seconds
Go ahead.
to say that if I win, my money that I get from the city, because I think I can collect on that, a lot of it's going to go back to the community as donations to the nonprofits, especially the ones that work up in the Upper Highlands.
Good for you. Good for you. Mr. Producer, you have anything you want to say?
Turn your air conditioner on right this instant.
Yeah,
Go
it's gonna be-
over, turn it on. Don't, well, I want to let it rest. No, turn it on now
It's a scorcher.
so your house stays comfortable all day, or your room stays comfortable. Close all the doors and just keep yourself in a cozy spot. It's going to be wicked hot for the next 3 days. Your air conditioner gets to rest the whole winter. So don't give it a rest. Leave it on until Friday morning, please. Thank you.
And one more shout out to Bobby Hoey. If
Oh,
he's,
yeah, Bobby,
keep
come
the
on
praise
back.
Going. Maybe he's watching us on his camera, or maybe he's sleeping. He said he needed some rest. That's what he said. He wasn't getting good sleeps. But
I was going to try to sleep last night.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I hope we see him back here soon. God bless the guy. God bless Ned Tarmey. Prayers for him too. And God bless you guys for doing
Thank
this.
you.
I mean,
Hey,
really,
God bless anybody that's listening to us and got up early for this. Now, you know, we can all go home and have a little breakfast and probably take a nap this afternoon. I love being
John missed out on
retired.
his nap yesterday.
Retired.
Oh, I missed my nap yesterday, but
Yeah.
I'll get a Cadillac of a nap today.
Oh, nice.
Also, a good treat to eat today would be some ice cream. And guys, thanks for getting up extra early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Thanks
see you
for
soon.
having us.
I know we'll see
Before
you
you go out
soon.
the door, I'm going to book you again. These girls are over in Japan, I believe. Fantastic band. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you.
Now, you know, we can all go home and have a little breakfast and probably take a nap.